What's up, everybody? You know who it is, the one, the only, CaRai, coming at you with another video. And today, the official trailer for Boruto Uzumaki Karma Progression, aka Borushiki, has come out today. We had this wonderful little post come out from, let me see real quick. Wonderful little post come out from Naruto Game underscore info on Twitter. I believe this is Japanese. Yeah, so I believe this is Japanese. It should be Japanese. It shouldn't be anything else. And so basically, there's this wonderful trailer that has come out of Borushiki. If you haven't seen it yet, someone, of course, put the gameplay out of his moveset. You can find it easily. Just type in Naruto or Boruto Uzumaki or Borushiki Storm Connections uh, gameplay and you'll find it. I'm not going to go over that, but what I am going to go over is this trailer. And then we're going to get right into the meat of the video, which is all of the slew like just the tons of fixes that need to be addressed in this game. So first, let's go ahead and start and watch the trailer. I love the opening because this opening looks very anime-like. You have Momoshiki waking up and he's possessed Boruto. So let's see what happens. I don't know what you're saying, but it sounds boss. Oh yeah, that's a really cool jutsu that he has. I feel like Momoshiki definitely picked up massive Rasengan from observing Naruto. His awakening is pretty good, from what I can see. His ultimate is really dope. I love his ultimate. This is so cool. It just hits the clones. Like, no respect for the clones at all. Then there's a team ultimate that we're gonna get. Well, no, we already have that team ultimate. We're getting a new Chia team ultimate. Look at Madara, and then Indra's like, nope. And look at Sasuke just going all the way up. I've seen the full team ultimate already. He actually flies up. It's kind of funny seeing the Susanoo fly like that. And we're gonna stay till the end. So that's it. The 5 characters from the season 1 DLC pack. And yeah, that's it. Okay, so I finally got it to work. We're gonna look through some of this stuff. So basically, the trailer dropped and all that good stuff, and people just aren't happy. So we got Yvonne Gabella. So that's it. No Season Pass 2 teaser. This game has only been disappointing the player base. Games like Shinobi Strikers have DLCs all the time, and this one gets dropped after the first Season Pass. Last time we supported a Bandai game, you guys are mistreating Naruto's IP. And I mean, I can definitely see his point there. Shinobi Strikers, I don't know if a lot of you remember, but Shinobi Strikers was awful when it first came out. And no one played Shinobi Strikers, but over the course of several years and a slew of updates later, it has become an actual real game that people enjoy, that people play. There's lots of content creators for that game that are still, doing well to this day off of playing that game and covering its updates. So this is really interesting to me that there's no announcement of a season 2 yet. I personally think there still could be one. I'm not really too sure how they're going to go about announcing it if they do. I know that a couple of weeks ago, the president, I believe he's the president, I always get him mixed up. I don't know if he's the CEO or the president. I think he's the president of CC2. He said that basically Connections was going to be supported for a long time. So I would be surprised if there wasn't another season pass. I have heard rumors of there being a second season pass that's supposed to come out. Not too sure on how that is. I haven't covered it because it's all speculation. Allegedly, a well-known modder in the community found files leading to the notion that we were going to get Code in the season pass too, along with some other characters. I'm not really too sure. I may or may not do a video on that. I'm not too sure at this point because I need more concrete evidence than just a hunch. So I'm probably not going to cover that, but I understand where he's coming from. But really, what I wanted to focus on was this guy, Roman. I'm not going to say your last name because I'm going to butcher it. I don't know what flag that is. I'm not even going to attempt to call. I'm not going to attempt to shout out your flag. I'm not going to say your last name because I don't know. I'm gonna be honest. But anyways, Roman kind of slams, and if you go to his Twitter page, he has even more fixes that he's really trying to push out. And I really wanted to highlight these fixes because I think that it could be beneficial if we get this scene. So I'm just gonna go through a lot of the different fixes he talked about. So basically, this fix right here is that hey, when these characters do their ultimate finishes, why is it that they don't adjust to the costume they're wearing? Why is it that when you do size Ultimate Ninja or Ultimate Jutsu, it's still his old costume from Storm 2, and that is really annoying. For those of you that play these characters, I play a lot of Sai personally. That is a little annoying, and honestly, a lot of the treatment that the other characters have gotten really. It's very disappointing because some of these characters have not really been changed in Storm 2. I've been virtually playing the same Sai since Storm 2. Granted, he's been buffed directly, nerfed indirectly, things of that nature throughout the series. He's played more, really, he's honestly become weaker and weaker. In this game, he's really better as an assist, and that's a little bit disappointing because I really enjoyed playing Sai, especially in Storm 4. But, oh well. So now we have this. Basically, he's talking about how much better the hardware is, and he's saying, "Hey, speed up the loading battle and general speed of game when shows main menu and navigating an online game menu." So basically, he's saying that why does it? It's not that it takes so long to navigate the menus or load another menu, but that I have noticed personally it is a little bit slower. Now, granted, you know my attention span has probably been cracked a little bit due to watching TikTok and stuff like that. And a lot of times when I just calm down and I'm not in the rush, it's okay. But I will say, relative to other fighting game menus, it is noticeably slower. And so then he even goes into talking about inconsistencies in outfits here. See how Kurenai has consistent placings of her spikes in her outfit, but when she loads into the battle menu, she doesn't. You have two spikes close by, then spikes really far apart. And then he says, Kiba has, the correct corrections. And why is it that Kiba can have that, but she can't? So basically, fix the quality of that. Also, her image, too. Her image does not stretch out to fit the screen. And this is very weird because as someone who does YouTube and as someone who has dabbled in graphic design for making thumbnails, this fix right here, where her picture does not fit the whole screen, is such an easy fix. It's literally just go in and quite literally stretch the aspect ratio out. It's a very very simple process to do for anyone that hasn't done it. It's super easy. It's very intuitive too. So I don't understand how this happens, especially on a DLC character, but it happened. Then he said, change the large subtitle font with change the large subtitle font right now in game when characters speak when finished. So basically he's saying just optimize for the speech during Ultimate Jutsu, just make it look a little bit prettier, which again fair. Then he's looking at a Orochimaru Akatsuki cloak. Add this picture for finishing. Start finally doing the right things. You see, it's not that hard. Show some respect for the players for all the honor when the game was released. And so basically, he's saying, instead of using these old finish scenes, add some of these. These are directly taken from the anime that they could use, and he's right. I mean, this is very important because not everybody bought this game to pick, Hanzo or Minato with Tamari and Shikamaru. Not everybody bought this game to dash mash. Not everybody bought this game to just literally iron out the meta. Some people bought this game because they really want to play their favorite character and they want to see their character done right. And when you don't do their character right, it turns them off. Rightfully so. Look at Sparking Zero. All the characters are done well in there. I feel like I can be in my little hub with my favorite characters and my opponent can be in their hub with their favorite characters. And ultimately, it does well. So, another comment, bring back Ninja Card image in lobby and return the old system of searching, creating a session, remove the 3D character model, add the ability to delete or kick from lobby, add the number of opponent battles in online lobby. So, I really like these points. Bring back Ninja Card image in lobby. I like that. I see what they're trying to do with the new system, but I think it's just done more harm. Well, I'm not gonna say it's done more harm than good. I think that this is not necessarily something they have to do. I'm not opposed to it, but I don't think it's something they have to do. What I think the real thing they should do here is remove the 3D character models because the 3D character models just do not do the game justice. I loved when they used the 2D animated models. Gosh, the characters look so much better like that. It got me hyped to choose my favorite characters. And then add the ability to delete or kick from the lobby. I think that would be good because some people just keep coming back. And that would be nice, if you could just, I mean, you can leave now, which is nice, but at the end of the day, sometimes you don't want to have to, go through that. I mean, I guess it's the same thing, right? But yeah, there's another option. Then add the number of opponent battles in online lobby. I think they mean, not too sure what they mean by that. And then basically calling on another character specific thing. So add the ultimate jutsu of explosive seals from the battle against Toby. I think that that's very good, right? I mean, that jutsu was a big moment for Konan because she basically figured out Obito's duration of how long he can stay intangible. And it wasn't small, right? I believe the paper bombs had to last up to 10 minutes, right? So they had to last for a long time. The paper bombs had to last for a while. And her just analyzing Obito and just going, okay, I know exactly how long it's going to take. And in a way, catching him off guard was really a really big character defining moment for her because it showed that, which Conan has never been portrayed as just obviously eye candy anyway. I mean, if they want to portray her as eye candy, they all they had to do was make her take that Akatsuki cloak off. You know what I'm saying? If you haven't seen Conan without that Akatsuki cloak, you might want to pause this video and go check that out real quick because if Kishimoto wanted to show her as eye candy, he could have easily done it. But that's besides the point. This was a really pivotal moment for her character. And then add the ultimate with the Uzumaki clan chain she used in the war against Toby. That would be a nice little add-on to Karin. Give her that ultimate, show her some love, show the Uzumaki clan some love. Sakura casual wear, delete the Byakugo mark from the character. So basically, when she's this is a costume aesthetic thing. Just adjust it, right? And then Mitsuki mission uniform. Add pictures for the finish scene that you can literally grab in anime. And honestly, this guy did. He chose some really nice images. I could see these being finished, ultimate finished images in game. And basically change the pose of the character. His hand looks terrible, and that's true. I would say change the pose of the character because it's kind of silly for his sleeve to be hanging in the mission uniform. And then I didn't know this, but there's actually a misplacing of sounds, right? So apparently there's a Byakugan sound when he uses Sage mode, um, whenever he uses his Sage mode ultimate, which is weird. So basically, he's talking about the mechanics are horrible, very fast temp of game, toxic dash when opponent when opponent does not have substitutions, makes your game leaves no other choice for players to win, and that's very true. I've talked about this in the podcast. I've talked about this with my co-host Sync. I've talked about this with several friends, and it's that there's so many nice things in this game to explore, but at the end of the day, what does it matter? All you need is two toxic assists and basically Spark Dash. I don't know if the new patch is going to change any of these things. I do have a video coming out about the new patch. There's a chance it may change it, but honestly, there's also a chance it could still play the same way. Just, you're going to run out of chakra fast. Because for those of you that don't know, the Spark Dash or the combo cancel, chakra dash cancel, the much faster dash that everyone's been doing has been nerfed to where it costs more chakra. It's noticeable, but I don't know if that's going to really change the game. Personally, I'm not too hopeful on that, but we'll just see. I would like to see a lot of these degenerate tactics toned down because there's so much beauty about the game. There's so many different things you can find out about your characters, and you can go in lab. Like, I feel like so if it wasn't for how degenerate and linear the game can be at a high level, there would be more incentive to go and lab your character because each character has some nice stuff. And then do something about the quality of all the images when you finish with Ultimate Jutsu. On 4K, they are very soapy and lower in quality than on 4 Storm. So basically talking about the quality going down. Um, yeah, I mean, make it beautiful, right? Beauty sells. Look at Sparking Zero. The game looks gorgeous. I talked about this, and my every time I look at the gameplay, I'm always surprised. It just looks so beautiful. So tone that up too. And then change all the final scenes from the Storm 4 engine to anime footage. Sasuke running Sharingan, Naruto. So I think right here he just means that you know, basically just make some updates to the finish scenes for certain characters. Just make it look like there was more effort put in than just a copy and paste job, which is what this looks like. Add personalized pictures when you finish with Ultimate for them. Minato, Jonin, da 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 da. This is pretty interesting, right? So basically, just make it so that the costumes stay on when you do the Ultimate. That would be pretty cool. Then bring back the ability to select other jutsu for a character, except those two, for example. For Sasuke EMS or Chidori like in Storm 4, bring the ability. So basically, allow you to change your jutsu. And I think that that's a very important point. I think that you should be able to choose, you should be able to select what's your first jutsu and your second jutsu out of the pool of jutsu that a character can use. I have no idea why this was taken out. This was a good thing. Being able to choose the jutsu you wanted was a good thing. And being able to choose two jutsu makes it even better, right? So why that was taken out, I have no idea. Bringing back the ability to always be host, one player left in the online lobby. So basically, bring back the ability to always be host. I'm not too sure what he means with that. Remove the ability to attack a character while he is still lying on the ground after grab slash G2 slash up and down combo, the most mechanic of all that you have introduced. So this is controversial. Some people may not agree with this, but the fact that every character for the most part has a crumble stain infinite, if not a regular infinite, and that there's so many pop-ups still left in the game, it makes everything a whole lot more degenerate, and it makes understanding your character's combos less rewarding. Because before you needed to understand how your character's combos work, and you still do, but for the most part, it's nowhere near as prominent as it was before. And I think that would add more. It would add more of a reason to really lap your characters out. So there's that. Don't wait for the right moment like the release of new DLC. Just start finally correcting your mistakes that you made in the previous parts and finally compensate for your terrible promo campaign and the state of the game with these actions. So I agree with that. I will say this that, from my understanding, from a business sense, these companies have to be able to justify the resources they're putting into something. And if the money doesn't justify touching the game and fixing the game, then they're not going to do it, which is why they're likely waiting till the drop of DLCs, right? The idea is that they're trying to draw as much attention towards the game as possible to continue to keep sales up so that they can continue fixing the game. So I see both sides of it. I would hope that maybe there's a little bit more they could do, but then again, I don't know because we're dealing with a different game. Storm 4 was a different game because it literally sold, I think it outsold Soul Calibur. It sold 20 million copies, which is insane for a game of its caliber. It has sold so well. Connections has not done that. So I feel as if Storm 4 had a lot more wiggle room with that stuff. Remember how at the end of the game they brought out a really good patch that fixed a lot of issues. Granted, most of the player base was gone. Still, it was nice to see that they were able to do it, right? Playco, a lot of the other boys were pushing for the patch, and they finally brought it out and fixed a lot of stuff. That was probably CC2's best patch ever, and it was done way after there was any incentive to really fix the game. So that was really amazing. Um, Remove the team and map selection at the beginning of the online battle. We want to choose from list of all characters and then choose map after that. Personally, I am fine with either or. I don't mind this. I mean, you guys can let me know what you think. Delete secret factor for this Obito without mask. When used on Minato joining Hokage, they didn't even meet. It doesn't make sense. Change secret factor 2. Basically, just again, staying true to the anime. The thing about making an anime game, whether you agree with it or not, is that when you make an anime game, you anime fans want it to be canon to the anime. They want it to make sense. And so he's right. They didn't know each other. So why would they speak so casually? Even back when we saw that fight happen, when Minato Jonin fought or when Minato Akage fought Obito, he didn't know who he was, and Obito didn't give him a hint. Obito spoke to him, which is kind of scary if you think about it. But Obito kind of spoke to him like that wasn't his sensei. He spoke to him like he was just like he was nothing. Like he was just, oh, this is just the Hokage, whatever. Change the way the Team Ultimate activated like in Storm 4. If I choose Ishiki, Boruto, and Kawaki, I don't want to use Team Ultimate. If I choose Boruto, Kawaki, Ishiki, I want to use Team Ultimate. So I think he's saying that allow me to select which Team Ultimate I want to use, which fair. Change secret factor for Sasuke Reni when used on Madara. So again, another character aesthetic thing, right? Repaint the clouds in purple and fix color correction of stones and mountains to make it look like in anime as it should be. Which I agree with this because I get what this world is because I've seen the anime. But if you've never seen the anime, I mean, you would never know that this dimension that he teleports you in his ultimate is not colored correctly at all. Look at the complete difference right here. So I would like that fixed personally too. Set the release time on PS4 to midnight local time in each country in Europe. Why are all the new DLCs released at 4 a.m.? When will you fix it? So that's just again, being annoyed. Why is it 4 a.m.? I don't know. I really don't understand the point in that because the DLC releases earlier for some regions, so it's not that hey, we need to release this DLC in such a way where everybody plays at the same time. So I don't really get that. Where's the Easter egg from Kurenai to Itachi? True. Why is there no finishing cutscene or something that hints at their interaction? Then delete the achievements check menu when starting the game. This is not in any other game, not necessary, and not a beautiful element. I don't know anything about that because I'm a be honest. I have not dabbled into the story mode super hard. Add Anko. We are really looking forward to her return. You already have model like supporting Jutsu in previous game. Just finalize the Anko. Blah blah blah. I mean that's true. Personally, I don't like this idea of using certain models for characters and only having them in story mode or only having them in certain aspects of the game, right? I like the idea of these characters being playable to an actual extent. I don't understand why there were support only characters in Generations, right? And so even to this day, we still don't have Kurasuchi or Chojiro as playable, and they're one of the five Kage. That's significant, right? But we don't have them. So Orochimaru mission uniform. You look at these situations, and it's the same thing, right? Just another character aesthetic correction that they can make. Correct timing of the plate with the name of the technique. Make it disappear when ultimate jutsu. Again, this is another ugly thing. Add personalized images. So again, character aesthetic. Um, character aesthetic. You know, this could be a really cool Tsukuyomi ultimate. And then lastly he looks at, the differences here, right? 153 people the last 24 hours. Peak was 174. All-time peak a little over 1600. 604 24 hours. Almost 2000 for or excuse me. So about an hour ago 600, 24-hour peak 2000, all-time peak 7,000. So Storm Connections is drastically underperforming in every way, in every way. So, and then he has a few other things. So, I think that you all pretty much get the point here. And then you got Kagemusha. This update is not bad. Lots of costumes and a good new character. I am waiting for the second season with improvements. Oh man, Kagemusha, you're exactly what we need. We need a breath of fresh air. Not that this guy is complaining. Roman isn't, I mean, I guess he is complaining, but, rightfully so. I think it just hurts because that is an ugly picture. I think it really just hurts because you care so much about the series. You've been with it for so long and you want to see it do well. And for it not to do well is just, it hurts. It really does. It hurts to see everyone commenting on Storm Connections content saying, who cares? Sparking is coming out. We don't care about this anymore. Sparking is way better. It really sucks because the series used to be great, and I think what really destroyed it was them having to go back and reuse assets. In hindsight, they should have. I don't know what they had to do to sell it to Bandai, but they should have just done their best due diligence to sell Bandai on, hey, no, we need a completely new game, new engine, all that, because honestly, this set back Storm a lot. And really, I think that there should be a new engine at this point because we already see what happens when take you take a successful IP and just handle it with love and you win. I mean, look at Sparking, right? You handle the IP with love and you win. Because again, the casuals eat the anime canon stuff up. You know, they love seeing things that match the anime because, I'm not the only one, but growing up, when you would watch anime, when you would watch these things in general, the first thing that would come to your mind is, oh my goodness, it'd be cool if there was a game where I could play as these characters and use their moves. So when they capture these things in perfect color and perfect movement, it's amazing. It makes for an easy sell. And so, personally, I hope that Naruto will come back. I believe it will. It's just going to take a few years. Eventually we'll get another good Naruto game. But I just wanted to share some of these complaints with you guys because I think that they're relevant. We talked about the state of connections a week ago or so, and you guys seem to really like that video. So I thought I'd bring out another one, just going over different things. And of course, you can place your comments here as well. And yeah, I mean, it's a little sad, but I thought this was really interesting when I watched the trailer, and I thought that maybe it's something that you guys would find valuable as well. Hopefully, at some point, we'll be playing a new Storm game that meets our expectations or really exceeds them, and we can be just as hype as the DB fan base. Personally, I'm still hyped for DB, but Naruto's always gonna have a soft spot in my heart. I mean, Dragon Ball Z it's different. Naruto was really my first love of an anime. It really means a lot to me seeing those characters and those I literally, it's crazy, but when Naruto ended, I think when Naruto ended and he became Hokage, I graduated high school. So it was bittersweet because I was like, dang, he in a way he kind of graduated to Hokage in a sense, and then I graduated high school. So it's always going to have an interesting, sentiment in my heart. And I just want to see the series do well. I want to see it always in good graces. So it hurts me just as much as it hurts a lot of you guys. But anyways, tell me your opinions on this if you watched the whole video. Really long video, but I really wanted to get this out here. I think that a lot of people would really appreciate it. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. This is CaRai out.